Hey everyone, coming back at you after a long hiatus. Um, I'd sort of disappeared for a while. My mother passed away at the beginning of June, and it's taken a while to get things in order family wise, and um, sort of lost my passion a little bit for all my hobbies. But I can tell you that as a community, you guys put out such great content, and being able to watch that all summer and into the fall here really kept me going with trying to get things sent out. But I buried my head in my work, and I didn't really have time to make videos, and all my returns just sort of piled up on my desk. And I really want to get back into the videos, so I thought I'll share everything here that I received this summer. And we're going to start with Mr. Bill Landrum on that 91 Fleer that everybody seems to not like. So much yellow in that set. I don't think it's terrible, but it is a very bright set. Mr. Landrum played for the Reds, the Cubs, the Pirates, and the Expos. There he is in that 90 Don Ross. That Brandon Stebbins is trying to get as many as he can in that set. I think that's awesome for all you guys that are trying to do sets and just get as many from 1 year as possible. I think that's awesome. And there he is on a 91 score. Mr. Landrum pitched 361.1 innings in his career, and he had 76 total chances in his career that he had without an error, to give him a perfect 1,000 fielding percent. I thought that was just a unique fact that I wanted to share about him. And Mr. Landrum was in 7 days. Next up, we're going to go Mr. Neil O'Donoghue. Mr. O'Donoghue played for the Bills, the Buccaneers, and the Cardinals. And he was an All-American at Auburn in 1976. And he also played under 13 soccer in Ireland. He played for the Shamrock Rovers Irish Association Football Club, where he had 3 goals. And for a long time, he held the record for most points in a season for the Cardinals. And Mr. O'Donoghue was in 10 days. Next up, Mr. Dave Giusti. And I think, like a lot of people, pen on these old school cards just looks so nice. Mr. Giusti played for the Colt 45s / Astros, the Cardinals, Pirates, A's, and Cubs. He was a 1973 All-Star, led the NL in saves in 1971. He was also a World Series champ in 71. And he was the Sporting News Reliever of the Year as well in 1971. And that came back in 6 days. Following that will be Mr. Danny Darwin. And I do love this 1986 set. I know the black borders are hard to keep nice, but I really like this set. And Mr. Darwin pitched for the Rangers, Brewers, Astros, Red Sox, Blue Jays, Pirates, White Sox, and Giants. He played from 1978 to 1998, which is incredible. He just always seemed to be around when I was little watching baseball. Every time you'd turn on a game, it seemed like Danny Darwin was pitching somewhere. And in 1990, he was the NL ERA leader. So what an incredible long career for Mr. Danny Darwin, and that was in 16 days. Next up, we have Mr. Quin Houff. Mr. Houff races for Starcom Racing in NASCAR. And I really liked the paint schemes they went with this year. This was a throwback paint scheme they ran at Darlington, and they started doing the shots like this again before the Daytona 500, and I just think it's a cool way to start the season. I think they're awesome photos. So you will see a couple more photos like this. It reminds me a lot of when I was little and into racing. But anyways, with Mr. Houff here, unfortunately, one of the biggest thing he's known for was in the 2020 O'Reilly's Auto Parts 500. He decided to pit at the last second, turned down in front of Christopher Bell, and took out Christopher Bell and Matt D. Benedetto, and took a lot of heat on that to the point where there were some drivers saying that sort of like in soccer in Europe where teams can be regulated down, the drivers could be regulated down. But drives for a very underfunded team, does what he can. Had a career best finish also then of last year. I believe it was 13th at Talladega. So it's cool when little teams like that are able to get good finishes. Next up, and we have two more here that I'll share today, is Miss Barbara Brownell, and she played Lieutenant Jones in 2 episodes of MASH. And for anybody that knows me, knows that I love MASH. Favorite show of all time. That and The Simpsons. But the 2 episodes she was on were both in season 1. It was Love Story and The Moose. And she's also appeared on Barnaby Jones, Bob Newhart Show, Emergency, Mad Men, among many, many other shows. And that was in 128 days. And last one for today is Mr. Michael Ensign. And Michael Ensign was part of the Royal Shakespeare Company in the 70s. And as you can see there, he was on MASH. And this was a custom I fooled around with. I think it came out okay. And he signed in the right spot there. So Mr. Ensign was also in the movie Superman, Pink Floyd's The Wall, Ghostbusters, Titanic, Seabiscuit, on TV, of course, with MASH, Jag, Friends, Dukes of Hazzards, many, many other movies and TV shows. And in a couple of the Crash Bandicoot video games, he was the voice of Dr. Nefarious, Tropy. So I thought that was kind of cool. And again, to be able to add 2 more autographs to my MASH collection is just awesome. And Mr. Ensign sent back in 9 days. So again, it's good to be back making videos. Please do like, subscribe, and as always, thank you for watching.